strongly, run into that warm air, cause another storm system that comes through Arkansas and Missouri on Thursday and bringing us storms later in the week. This is really similar to the pattern that we've seen over the last few weeks, and probably going to bring those same chances of tornadoes further towards the west while keeping our weather a little calmer. We have some winds up towards 10 miles per hour right now, but they've calmed down a little bit in the last 3 or 4 hours. We'll still have winds like this through the night with some gusts up towards 20 miles per hour. And after the sun rises, those winds really start to pick back up. Because we have winds with those gusts towards 20 and temperatures are mostly around 40 overnight, with some of our warmest lows like Roanoke at 44, Lynchburg and Southside at 43. Meanwhile, the NRV's at 40. With all that wind, we are going to end up with wind chills in the mid to upper 30s and some into the low 40s like in Roanoke. And then winds stick around through the day. Wind chill's not too much of a factor after that sun actually rises, but after 8 a.m. when we've got gusts up towards 30 miles per hour in the highlands, those spread further towards the south. So by noon, we've got 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts through a lot of Roanoke, Lynchburg and Southside zones. Meanwhile, as you get into the highlands and especially northern parts of the NRV, we can get gusts up towards 40. And I think in the middle of the afternoon, gusts towards 50 are not out of the question. Now, give it a few more hours and those winds will start to ease off a little bit by 6 p.m. But very quickly after that, we'll see a lot of the high wind speeds die down so that by 8 p.m. we're looking at winds 10 to 20 miles per hour with even lower winds through the night. Once we get to sunset on Tuesday, we don't have much more wind to deal with. Now, combine those winds with the dry conditions we've got mostly east of Roanoke, where a lot of us are abnormally dry, if not in a moderate drought like Nelson and Amherst County are right now. There's plenty of dry conditions. We haven't had a whole lot of rainfall. Most of the rain's been falling further west or further to the north in this part of the season, so vegetation's a little bit dried out. When winds are this high, if any fire starts, it's really, really easy for it to spread. So we have a fire weather watch, mostly for Tuesday afternoon going into the evening. Make sure that if there are any fires, if you have to start any, that they are very well contained, because with these winds, it can spread very quickly. Ideally, just try not to have any fires. If you've been enjoying those in some of the cooler evenings, try to hold off for Tuesday. Things will be a little bit better later in the week when winds die down and we have extra moisture on the way. It takes a while for that moisture to get here. Rain chances stay low until Friday and Saturday because of the next system that we are tracking. This one brought our cold front through yesterday that caused our showers and some of that heavy rain that we had. Now it's bringing in a lot of cooler, drier air. That drier air is part of why the fire risk is so high. High pressure keeps us nice and sunny, but at the end of the work week, we have more warm air coming in from the south. Cold front, again, brings more storms to Missouri and Arkansas. For us, it's going to bring some rumbles of thunder, but the severe chance is rather low, like what we had last night. A lot of our lows tonight will be down to the 40s, like Pulaski at 40, Lexington 44, Danville 43, and feeling cooler because of the wind. And then we can warm into the 60s and 70s. With all the sunshine we have tomorrow, we do a pretty good job warming up. Whitfield's at 66, Lexington at 70, and we add even more heat on for Wednesday. It pushes Roanoke into the 80s, Alta Vista to 84, and Pulaski and Blacksburg not far off in the upper 70s. Temperatures keep on rising all the way through Thursday, but after that, we got a few showers late on Friday, and some of those even go through the night into Saturday morning. We get a break in the middle of Saturday, but clouds are still there, keeping our temperatures cooler. Saturday evening, that front comes through, brings our storm chances. Again, kind of like last night, it'll be a wave that comes through. Severe threats rather low, but could get some high winds, maybe hail out of that. We'll have some showers through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Most of Sunday stays dry. And as we start next week, temperatures are cooled down to the 60s. Now we'll check in, see if you guys have any questions, and if not, then have a pretty pleasant, nice stretch over the next few days. Gotcha. Arisandro was asking if we could see any big rains, a complete washout over the next week. I think it's the best chance is probably going to be Saturday because we've got those showers early on and then the stormy chances later in the day. But given how our fronts have been playing out lately, we'll get some rain totals. A lot of places yesterday got up towards 1/4 of an inch, maybe 0.3, 0.4 inches, but still nothing that tops out like 1 or 2 like some of the systems that have already come through in earlier parts of the year. So at least our rain is fairly moderate and we'll have enough to come through that will help with any of those dry conditions. All right, checking in for questions again. All right, looks like that's it for everything. Again, there's not too much happening over the next few days, but we'll make sure to keep you updated as those storms get a little bit closer. Check us out online, check us out on the web. Go to